The collapse stage is collapsing. It was before, it was only like 3 discs that were involved. There are 3 vertebrae. He said there's 6 vertebrae. They're out of place. He said one of them is, 2 of them, one of them's almost gone. One of them is gone. One of them's almost gone. He goes, and the other 4 are completely like a railroad track. He said, what the hell are you doing? I said, nothing. I couldn't tell him that I have to take care of myself because of my daughter.
And you have to take care of the babies.
And I had to take care of the babies. I couldn't tell him that. I just couldn't.
Oh, wait, he knows that you're by yourself.
He knows that I'm by myself and I don't have anyone. And anyone I can trust because it's just still for me.
So, right now, he said the 6 vertebrae are...
6, or 2 of them were, one's completely disintegrated.
Okay.
And it skipped. 5's gone, completely gone. It's been obliterated, in his words. It just crumbled. And it skipped up to 7. 7 is the one that's almost gone. 8, 9, and 11 is deformed.
So...
The 11 was the one that was fractured in the accident, and it's in the shape of an egg. And it's pressing right near my spinal cord.
So with these deteriorating, is it because of you having to physically move? Is that
physically get up and do it for myself?
And so is that making them deteriorate by the month or whatever?
Yeah. Every month there's changes. He said, at this rate, you're not going to be alive in 6 months. At this rate. He says, your spine's going to collapse. And he says, you're going to start bleeding internally. He says, that any one of those vertebrae could cut the spinal cord or could cut one of your femoral arteries. And he goes, and you're going to bleed to death. You're going to start bleeding out of your eyes, nose, your ears, your mouth. You're just going to bleed to death. He said, do you have help? And I said, yeah, I have help. And I couldn't look at him when I said that. If she had just helped me, I probably could have recovered.
What could he do if you did tell him that you don't have help and you've had to do all this on your own?
He probably put me in a nursing home.
That would force you to relax, not have to move physically, right?
Yeah, I won't go to a nursing home. I won't. I will not. I'd much rather go see his friend and have him give me a prescription and just take the prescription and be gone.
Going back to 2013 when the car hit you, okay, you were in a period of time in bed, right, for a while because you were going through some caregivers.
He was taking care of me.
Okay.
And I didn't have to do nothing.
Okay.
He cleaned the house. His mom is Jamaican. And she would make meals, and she always made me a meal. Every night I had a plate. His KP made sure I did.
Okay.
He did all my shopping.
So during the time you kept him, you weren't having to move physically.
I didn't have to do nothing.
So, but that didn't pan out. He went to jail or something?
He went to jail for a month, but he got out. But his girlfriend was so jealous of me that she was calling me at 1 and 2 in the morning. Is KP over there? I know you're fucking. And it's just like, she wouldn't stop. He couldn't control her. She would come up here and bang on my door at 3 in the morning. And he wasn't here. And I couldn't control. I couldn't take it anymore.
And then you had that country guy.
Gus.
Gus.
He's still around. He wants to be my caregiver. But I can't take Gus. Gus stresses me out. I can't take it.
Oh, the first time he was here, he was always playing his music loud, and then he was...
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass. I can't.
He was nosy in your room wanting to get into your pussy?
Yeah.
And so... And you went through Chris?
No, I didn't even hire Chris. Chris got out of jail. He was staying upstairs, and then he didn't mail the time card.
Okay. But during the times you didn't have the caregivers, and you were taking care of the dogs and doing all this, your vertebrae weren't deteriorating, though, were they?
No, when I was taking care of the dogs.
When you were taking care of the dogs and having...
Before the accident, everything was fine. Once the truck hit me, it changed everything.
I mean, after the truck, there was a period that I remember you saying that you were having to do things for yourself and your vertebrae weren't deteriorating that fast.
Right, but that's because they were still trying to decide whether they were going to do surgery or not, and they were going to use a glue to glue my spinal sac shut.
Well, where were they going to get the glue from?
No, that's a glue that they made. That it is now they use on patients.
But can't they use that glue now?
They can't use it on me. They can't even go in and take a biopsy because they're too afraid to poke a hole inside my spinal sac. Last time I had a hole poked in my spinal sac.
Can't they get something from your leg and use it as a
that's a special thing. Your spinal sac is a very special thing.
There isn't something that's similar to a spinal sac that can be covered and then...
Nothing. And he is a professor of neurosurgery. Him and three of his colleagues, all four of them. They were even calling over in Europe.
Okay.
And
what did they say in Europe?
No. Once her spinal sac is deteriorated.
Then what?
To the point that it is now. They're saying it is as thin as tissue paper.
Where is our spinal sac?
It's your spine. It encases your spinal cord and your spine, and it goes up and
From what?
Covers your brain. And there's water in there. It's a very special water. There's no other water like spinal water. And it keeps your brain hydrated. It keeps your spine hydrated. And without that, you could die.
Okay.
See, I had a spinal leak for 30 days because it would not close.
Okay.
And I ended up laying humpback on a pillow. You know, when you cut yourself and apply pressure. I laid humpback on a pillow for 3 days and applied pressure and it sealed.
So when the car hit you on the bike, it went...
I landed on my butt.
Yes, and it went like this instead of this, the spine, or...
No, spine broke here from pressure. And what really fucked me was I landed on my butt and I got the pelvic fracture. But it's not a normal pelvic fractures are like this.
Okay.
Mine's up and down. That guy hit me with such force that they rarely see this type of fracture. Okay. And it was only like 70% fractured. Jessica kicked me at the top of the stairs.
But don't you...
And made it 100%.
Okay, when she did that, but didn't she push you against the stove?
Yeah.
The other stove? And didn't on the bed, you said something, did she do something to your bed?
No, she shoved me on the bed.
Shoved you on the bed, yeah.
So it went on to fracture. Since the initial fracture, it went on to fracture 3 more times.
So that made what collapse when you fractured?
That holds everything from the waist up.
Oh.
It holds it up. And if there's nothing to hold it up, the spine starts to inch down. And then eventually will collapse. Because there's nothing to hold it up. They couldn't go in to do what they normally would have done was I needed emergency surgery. To go in and put plates and screws on to stabilize that fucking pelvic fracture. And they couldn't do it.
So conventionally, there's nothing they can do about the surgery or healing of that. Conventionally, I'm trying to figure out unconventional what could be done physically. If
I stayed in bed all the time.
Okay.
And I did not lift tally, and I didn't have to do anything.
Is that possible for 6 months? Once you move out of here, is that possible if you get in a situation where you will not have to move your body?
I don't know where I'm going when I do here. I don't know whether I'm going to the penthouse. That would be the best for me.
Well, why don't we discuss this? I think the penthouse, if you're there and you're not having to do any physical... Well, the only one thing is the dogs, though, that you have to still take care of the dogs.
Right, but they have dog walkers there.
They do?
Yeah, they have dog walkers.
Okay.
Those dogs are really funny.
So
They're funny about who takes care of them.
well, let's look at this. You for 6 months, if you're not moving your body like this at all, is it possible to have?
Well, I have to move around enough so my muscles don't turn to jello.
But I
My
mean,
muscles, if my muscles turn to jello, then it's called atrophy.
well, can we work? Let me work this way. How about where you are not putting strain on your body for 6 months? Is it possible that it could
Yeah, I
reverse the other way if
Well,
if you're
I
not?
would just have a really screwed up spine. But if that pelvic was to be able to lay still and heal, then it could start supporting my spine.
I'm saying, how about from now to after you leave for 6 months? If it has a chance to heal like that, then
Yeah, then there's a possibility.
so what we
I asked him that, and he said,
What did he say?
If you can somehow manage with just getting up and being able to go to the bathroom and being able to get something to eat and go back to bed and stay in bed and keep that pelvis still. That's why he ordered me a bedside commode. So, because he said, how far is it to your bathroom? I said, maybe 10, 12 feet. He said, I don't even want you walking.
how far is the bathroom at the pad in La Jolla?
3 feet. And I have a bedside commode. But when the pain's really bad.
Well, okay. Are you willing to try to put that to the test at the pad? I mean, I think that's more important because there's hope that you will be able to.
I don't know if I can deal with Ken. I don't know what he's.
Ken's never there.